We're continuing our study of the Free Peoples of Middle-earth with Chapter 3, Elves. ARWEN, Evenstar, daughter to Elrond and granddaughter to Galadriel, Lady of the Golden Wood. And Prince Legolas, whose name in Elvish means green leaf of the woodland realm, in just a few minutes on Video Gamers Oasis presents The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring visual companion, and my commentary. Stay tuned. Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube presents podcast mini-series The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring visual companion, my reading and commentary. Hello again. Welcome back to my ongoing podcast mini-series. We're reading the book The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring visual companion by Jude Fisher, and I'm adding my 2 cents commentary on this fascinating fantasy lore. If you've been following my podcast so far, we've been learning about elves. We just recently studied about elves as well as Elrond on pages 30, 31, 33, and a whole lot of maps on pages 34, 35, 36. A huge directory of all kinds of locations in the Lord of the Rings lore. If you haven't already, I advise you to look at the previous episode, and we went into detail every location in the Lord of the Rings, specifically in the movie The Fellowship of the Rings. Now we're on to 2 more chapters. On page 40, we're going to study about Arwen, the daughter of Elrond, the elf. Half Elven his name is, last name. And on page 43, we're going to study about Legolas, the valiant archer in the Fellowship of the Rings. He's a really cool character as an elf. He's just so, well, women will find him hot. And also, he is very nimble, very fast, sharp-minded, and very sharp with his accuracy with his bow and arrow. So we're going to begin our study in just a few seconds. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified of future videos. I do appreciate it. Now what we're going to do, I just cleaned out my glasses and my magnifying glass. So I'm going to put on my visionary assistant here. I always like to wear different glasses once in a while, just to change it up a bit. And I'll take my clean, fresh magnifying glass. These will help me focus better on what we're studying. So we get ourselves all positioned here, get the light shining on the pages. Let's begin. Page 40. We're still studying about elves of Middle-earth, the free people of Middle-earth, and we're studying page 40 and 41. We're going to learn about Arwen. Arwen, daughter to Elrond and granddaughter to Galadriel, Lady of the Golden Wood. Arwen is famed as the most beautiful of all living things. Her hair is dark as a river at night, her eyes of an unearthly blue. She is millennia old and, like her father, is filled with the wisdom of the ages and the lore of the elves. Yet she loves a mortal man. She was raised by the elves of Lothlorien, the Golden Wood. But when she returned to her father's domain, she there met and fell in love with Aragorn, son of Arathorn, whom Elrond had raised since a boy, following the loss of Aragorn's parents. Now she will be faced with a terrible choice: to act according to Aragorn's will and leave with the other elves to pass over the sea into the Undying Lands, or, like her ancestress Lúthien, hope I pronounced that correctly, to give up her deathless future and become his mortal wife. So I suppose there's a bit of a consequence from marrying a human being. Elves lose their immortality if they do, apparently. On page 40, we're still reading. Here's a little blurb here in quotations. The light of the light of the even star does not wax and wane. It is constant, even in the greatest darkness. Beautiful poetic quotation from ARWEN. And she goes on to, the paragraph goes on to say, ARWEN wears the great and magical elven jewel called Evenstar, a name by which she is also often known. It symbolizes not only her goodness and beauty, but also her longevity. So in giving it to Aragorn to wear on his great journey into shadow, she gives him also her heart and her life. Here's another quotation. I will bind myself to you, Aragorn of the Dunedain. For you, I will forsake the immortal life of my people. And there we have another expression of true, devoted, self-sacrificing love from the elven daughter of Elrond, Arwen, Evenstar. And here we have a photograph of Arwen in her beautiful palatial home. Gorgeous interior. We have some archway here. 2 calandribas. I think, how many calandribas can I count here? 2, 4 on the right side. 2, 4, 6. 7, I think 7, and even 8. I think there's a hidden one in the corner on the left side. And in the background, in the rocky garden in the background, there are some statues. I think there's 2 women in robes, one playing the flute, one playing the tambourine. Beautiful statues. And there's Arwen, beautiful Arwen in a purple robe, long, gorgeous, curly hair, and incidentally, she is the daughter of Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. So I've included the name of the actress here. She's really beautiful, and in my opinion, this was my absolute favorite performance. I'm a little partial to fantasy movies and science fiction movies, but this, in my opinion, was her greatest performance as Arwen. It transcended her rock and roll, history. You think of a girl who was son of a rock singer, would be kind of rebellious and kind of, I don't want to say raunchy, but just sort of edgy and a little gothy. In this movie, she's extremely graceful and mystical too. Very beautiful performance by the character who is the daughter of Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. And she's just very gorgeous, and I really like her performance in this movie. And that's page 40 and 41. Not much more I can say. Leave your comments below if you like Arwen like I do. Moving on to the next page, we're doing another chapter here. I take this post-it note off just so I can mark myself that I've read so far. I got to use something different, less invasive than a sticker. Page 43, we're going to learn about Legolas, the valiant archer and warrior of the Elven realm, who helps Frodo and Samwise and Merry and Pippin on their quest for to destroy the One Ring. He is a defender of Frodo. Here we have a photograph, full-page photograph of Legolas with his bow and arrow, and he is in the forest, ready to shoot at any orc or monster or troll that tries to get in Frodo's way. He is a valiant, heroic defender. Page 43, and here's another photograph of him with his profile side view. He's got some braids in his hair. I guess it's an elven tradition. Again, I'll include the name of the actor in the post-production, but he is Orlando, I believe. Last name is Orlando Bloom. I'm going to include his name in the photograph and the video later on, but he's a good actor. And I just incidentally, I heard this movie really helped him skyrocket his fame in future movies. Page 43, Legolas. Let's begin. Prince Legolas, whose name in Elvish means green leaf, is the son of King Thranduil. Pardon me, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thranduil, 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 just in case you wanted to get the exact spelling, of the Woodland Realm. He has traveled south to Elrond's council at Rivendell to act as the envoy of the Woodland Elves who inhabit the great northern forests of Mirkwood. This once beautiful forest is even now being overrun by orcs, wolves, and other dark, wandering spirits in thrall to the powers of darkness as the shadow of Mordor stretches even further across Middle-earth. Next paragraph. The elves begin... The elves being a long-lived race, Legolas knows the ranger, strider of old, and is well aware of his true identity. Like many of his people, he has a distrust of dwarves, which will result in a prickly relationship with the envoy of the dwarves of Erebor, Gimli, son of Gloin. It's G-L-O or apostrophe O-I-N. And we'll learn more about Gimli, the dwarf, and the dwarf races in this book later on. Next paragraph. Legolas brings a number of unique and beneficial skills to the Fellowship of the Ring, the Brotherhood of 9 Walkers, chosen by Elrond to bear the ring across Middle-earth. Pardon me for a moment. Elves have the preternatural. I'm going to have to provide a definition there in the description. Preternatural natural ability to move more lightly across the ground than the other peoples of Middle-earth. Legolas is able to run swiftly and effortlessly across the roughest terrain, barely leaving footprints even upon new fallen snow. As a forest elf, he is a master of woodcraft, able to scan his environment in order to read even the most minute traces and tracks left by the birds and beasts of the world. He can also see with greater clarity and over longer distances than the rest of the 9 walkers, and is a superb and deadly shot with an elvish long bow, which he pledges to Frodo Baggins' service. Final paragraph on page 43. Legolas also carries 2 elf knives. Long white knives with filigreed blades, deadly weapons, for the elves make the keenest of all blades in Middle-earth. So there you have it. That's a bit of a bios or biography of Legolas, great warrior, hunter, archer, and he has an unusual ability to traverse land without making a sound. He can run across rocky terrain very easily and has very keen eyesight that can see very far away and has a very sharp archery skill, can shoot an enemy from a very far distance. And these 2 white knives, filigreed blades, we learned about the blades and his how they are the sharpest of all the races of creatures in the Lord of the Rings mythology. They are very keen. The keen blades, and the elves are very master craftspeople, you say. They're masters at designing weapons and other beautiful artifacts. So there we have, his name means green leaf, and he's the son of King Thranduil. Basically, nothing more I can say about this guy, but it's really nice. I really enjoyed learning about these two elves. We learned about ARWEN, and we learned about Legolas on page 43. Tune in next time. We're going to study 2 more chapters on the elves. This time we're going to learn about a different location in the elven lands. We're going to learn about Lothlorien on page 44 and 45. And we're going to study about the gorgeous and extremely graceful and wise the Lady Galadriel on page 46 and 47. She was almost like a great priestess or a holy enchantress, very holy and pure woman who of elven descent, very old and very wise, and she provides Frodo with great assistance on his quest. But we'll learn about that next time. So I hope you'll stay subscribed, stay notified for future videos. We're going to take a little break from this. We've been studying The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Visual Companion by Jude Fisher, based on the Peter Jackson book. I do encourage you to look at the original source material as well, just to verify if any of this stuff actually happened in Tolkien's original work. But I must say, Peter Jackson was by far the greatest filmmaker who worked on adapting this lore, in my opinion. So thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis, thanking you so much for your attention. Send some likes and loves for this video. Be notified by subscribing. And I do appreciate it helps the algorithm, because more people, I know there are a lot of Lord of the Rings devotees who like the lore as much as I do and want to see more faithful renditions of it. Please subscribe to keep us burning the fire of classic literature and classic movies. I'm Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis, wishing you a happy week ahead of us. Happy November 2024. We made it to November, folks. I knew we'd make it, but it seemed October 2024 was just wacky and wild. But I'm so glad we're on to November 2024. Stay safe and healthy this November 2024, and we'll see you bright and early again next week. Bye for now.